855-839-1210. Arlo is in New Jersey. Hello, Arlo.
Hi. Yeah, I think not enough accolades are being given to Lindsay Halligan, the prosecutor in the Comey case, because it's interesting. It's something that Siebert, for 8 or 9 months, tried to come up with charges and couldn't, so he resigned. And Halligan, who's never been a prosecutor before, in 48 hours, she's able to find charges to bring to a grand jury. What a prosecutor. That's amazing, isn't it?
Couldn't or wouldn't come up with charges is, I think, the more accurate way to frame Seibert. But I agree. And look,
because he's a rhino, right?
I know exactly what's going on here on this call. This is you got
Jimmy,
yourself in trouble.
Jimmy Kelly could be Jimmy Kelly's about as dupable as a 5-year-old. So, I always love the Friday phone calls when Jimmy Kelly pots somebody up at
Well,
night.
hang on. No, I want to hear this guy. Keep going. Keep going, homie.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that Siebert resigned because he just wanted to pursue other interests. But yeah, after 8 or 9 months, he couldn't find anything, so he resigned to pursue other interests. And, he's just a longtime Republican. What a rhino. But Lindsay Halligan,
is a person, by the way, Greg, I'm just going to tell you, this is a guy who stalks me online.
Oh, boy.
He has called this station, not in a bad way. He has made over 100 different Rumble accounts to get into my chat and cause problems. That's how much of a life loser this guy is. That's how much of a life loser he is. And he has sent me emails, and I've put them into spam.
Yeah.
And he gets mad when I don't reply, when he writes me essays in the emails after. I mean, this is a life loser, an absolute loser.
I love it. You want to respond?
Says the guy who makes
There comes $20,000 a year on play.
Says,
Here it goes. Makes a living. I make a pretty damn good living, by the way. And you're the one calling into the shows that I'm in.
Amazing.
So you must love it, buddy. Thank you.
Sean just admitted.
Wait, does he
you're
get
paid by
paid?
the Jews.
I am. I'm APAC, the Jews, all that. All
Does
that.
the caller get paid? Who pays you?
Hey, dude, this isn't one of those shows where they hang up on you right away.
Yeah.
This isn't one of those shows where they hang up on you right away, man. You literally sat on hold for an hour and a half, so you must have something better to say than what you're saying, no?
So you get paid by George Soros, which makes us have something in common, right?
He allegedly runs his own business, which
Okay.
I don't know what type of business that is.
Gotcha.
I was driving. Can I answer?
Sure.
Yeah.
I've been driving to. Yeah. I love when you guys are like, oh, you stayed on hold for 50 minutes. What a loser. I'm either doing one of two things. In this case, I was driving to a client's office. I'm now standing in the parking lot of my client's office.
I'm sure your client's thrilled that you're on the phone right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure your
client is thrilled that you're making a fool of yourself on the radio. I'm sure. Your client's very proud of you, by the way.
Says the guy
are you, just out of curiosity, are you listening on 1210? Are you listening on the Odyssey app? Are you driving while watching YouTube? I'm just curious the metric here.
No, when you call in, you get to listen to the show.
Oh, so you don't actually you just stay on hold and listen through your phone.
Yeah, I mean, do you think I'd actually listen to this lame show if I wasn't calling in?
You sat on the phone.
You sat on the phone for an hour and a half, so I figure, the answer is yes.
Any mode of listening.
Unfortunately,
it doesn't show up in our ratings. You sitting on your phone. But
I love haters. I love haters. So
can you address
hold on a second. What is the actual?
Halligan?
I just want.
We addressed it yesterday, by the way.
So what are you saying? Are you genuinely giving her credit for bringing this forward?
No.
It's amazing, yeah, because she's never been a prosecutor, yet she was able to accomplish in 48 hours what lifelong prosecutor Eric Siebert could not do in 8 or 9 months.
Boy.
That's amazing. Can I
give you?
I guess the bar is very low because it doesn't take much for a prosecutor to be willing to or able to bring something forward. See, your point is still stupid.
Can I give you a tip too on the phone calls? Hey, shut up. Well, shut up. Can I
fade him down, Soccer? You have the board.
Can I give you some tips on phony phone calls? Like, call up with something. Like, you've repeated yourself over and over again. Call up and pretend you're getting into a car crash. Shut up.
Sidekick for Kyle. Okay.
Can you pretend like you're getting in a car crash or like you're dying or like give us something else other than the same thing over and over again.
This guy's whole life is a car crash. Okay, I mean,
I'm in
the parking lot of my client. Why would you? Look, I got to be honest. If I was somebody allegedly who had like clients in places that I would go visit where I'm making money, I would not be standing in the parking lot trolling a radio station. I'd be making money, right? Which I'll tell you what the client is. The client is his mother, and he's in the basement of her house. He's got a jar of Lubriderm and a bag of Cheetos, and that's what he's honking his hedgehog all morning long. Okay, the 1210 WPHD. That's what's going on.
Yeah. Sean, how would a certain New York sports talk radio legend handle this type of phone call?
You waited on hold for 2 hours to make a jackass out of yourself. Get lost.
Hey, Mikey.
Back after this.
Hey, Mikey.
Oh boy, wow, dude, we gave you how long have we given you? We've given you like 5 minutes, man.
I'm the best thing your ratings have ever had.
That's not true at all. That is not true at all. That is not true at all.
But for your call, you get some Arctic haze.
Well, you know what? He may not be wrong about that though, because the piñata is one of the best parts of the birthday party when they bust it up and break it open, which is essentially what just happened. So,
I think get rid of him. I had enough.
I will say this, in all seriousness, for the news piece of it,
yeah,
that for Lindsay Halligan, this case was never taken to a grand jury.
Yeah.
And so you needed the majority of 23 grand jurors who had to hear all of this evidence and who had a chance to say guilty or not guilty. So, nearly 24 people, grand jurors, are we saying, is the allegation here that they're crooked or that they were, somehow biased? And so I will simply say to you that in this case, I believe it was unanimous. That was the report, that this was, 23 people voting guilty on both charges. So I'll just say that about Lindsay Halligan, that this was never brought forth to grand jury before.
And also, the other part of the news here too which is very important, is Jimmy. My daughters are going to call in next segment, so make sure you put them through the same arduous process that you put all of our callers through as the gateway to prestigious airways. While we're at it, have Paul from Westchester call in. And we'll turn the Friday 9 o'clock hour into Nutjobville.
I just I don't know. I think that these people need to be exposed. You know what I mean? Because they literally call up with nothing, because most hosts are just like, okay. And they hang up with him. I want to hear his material. He waited on the hold for an hour and a half. I want to hear his material. He had nothing.
I really hope he's self-employed, because I'm not into the the doxing thing or anything like that. But boy, if his boss, assuming he does have a boss, I find it hard to believe that he actually has a business, because you have to have an IQ north of croutons to own a business.
Yeah.
But if Bob was his boss and Bob realized he was sitting in the parking lot of a client on presumably a sales call
at 9:30 on a Friday,
waiting 50 minutes to talk to somebody that he trolls on Rumble, and then is listening to us and calls in, so he knew the phone number. Man, I'd hate to see the guy lose his job.
He's called this station before, and he's done it when I was filling in a few times.
Yeah,
he'll probably send me an email today, and he'll go, so brave, you don't even respond to my emails. Why would I? First of all, second of all, that was too much fun. Third, again, I'm telling you, I'm not exaggerating. Over 100 Rumble accounts that he goes in. I'm not the only one, by the way, but he's just a loon, just an absolute loon.
Well, I apologize, guys, because I had other stuff, but I just wanted to take up the last section of the cut sheet.
A very good fresh word salad.
Oh, all right. Well, let's play that.